Hey, great win, fellas. Hey, let's build on this one. You know, we can build off a win like this. You know, let's keep getting better. Bucks on 3, 1, 2, 3. Bucks!
Now it's the gold standard. It's Tom Brady. It's the defending Super Bowl champions.
Hey, look around, man. It don't matter what field we on, what's the conditions, who the player. This is about being the best Buccaneers team we can beat.
Brady floats one for the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans hauls it in. Gronkowski, he's got a first down. Cracking. A jet with him. This time, nothing. And Winfield showing his muscles from the safety spot.
Goes off ball. This time it's Cameron. Great with a touchdown grab. Right between the 8 and the 4.
And there's a sack. The first sack of the game for Tampa Bay. Anthony Nelson.
And just, there's no movement at all.
First down, box. We stop him on 4th and 2. Brady looking, cocks the arm, throws toward the end zone. Receiver open. Fun ball. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Grayson makes the catch in the end zone. Bucks beat the Jets finally for the first time in franchise history in New York.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Sports Top 49 with none other than me, Blake Anthony, and I got my special co-host, my co-pilot, Deshaun, the Money, Tisdale. Hold on, let me get him in here. There we go. Oh, we got the flag up. What we got going on?
You know what it is, guys. You know what it is. Defending Super Bowl champions.
You're not waving the flag in defeat. Did it. What's popping, man? Bucks win 28-24 against the Jets. First time, as Gene Deckerhoff said, first time in New York they beat the Jets. Last time I remember the Bucks playing the Jets in New York, Levante David got hit with an unsportsmanlike conduct, pushed in Geno Smith out of bounds late, and they were able to kick a Nick Folk field goal for the win. That was around the end of the era of Josh Freeman at quarterback and Greg Schiano at head coach, if I remember correctly.
I mean, listen, man, way to go out, go to New York up there, get a win in a gritty game. A lot of players injured, a lot of people not in not the same staff. And I know we get a lot of stuff has been shaded over this game, but let's talk about the GOAT. I had immediately after the game, I get a Dallas fan on my phone. Dallas fan calls me up. He says, I'm over here yelling, the GOAT, the GOAT, the GOAT. I'm like, what? So you mean to tell me a Dallas Cowboy diehard star fan is so hyped up when they see your quarterback, your Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback, Tom Brady, go 93 yards, no timeouts, no pressure, just very calm, and he just goes out there and execute. That right there is when I called him the GOAT as well. I had been for a long time holding on to the fact that I saw Joe Montana get knocked out in the game for San Fran and then come out that tunnel. And I respect that so much that I've been in the game. I've played the coach for a long, long time and still in it. And I respect the fact that this guy got his just bell rung rattled, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much probably was a concussion that they came back out the tunnel and went on to win. But when I saw Tom Brady in this era of getting hyped, be so calm, so damn near emotionless. He was out there. Did you see I don't know what play that was? And he was like,
yep.
He sent that money. Oh my gosh, Tom was out there.
He said we about to cash in. That's what he was saying. We cashing in.
I feel about it. And Tom said, "What? Hey, Sarah, go here, Sarah. Go get yourself something, bro. Send that money." You know what I'm saying? He went out there. He just was. I said, "Man, Tom, that's how we doing it."
Is that what he told Cyril? He said, "Go get that bread." That's what he did. Where's the money for Cyril again?
Listen, right there. He said, "Hey, Sarah, go get you some. Go get you some." You know what I'm saying? And listen, you got to look at it and you got to think. This is the same Tom Brady that's been doing this for a long time. He's been in the league. We all know the story. We all hear the stats. Every single week, this dude is breaking his own records, other people's records. Listen, I mean, come on. We cannot call this man the GOAT right now. We just haters. If we can't call him the GOAT right now, we really just hate him. Because, I mean, who got a stat that he don't have? You know? We ain't talking about running around because that's not what he do. But we're going to get to the rest of the game. But I wanted to start off today making sure that we give all praises to him because, I mean, golly, 93 yards with the tug, no pressure. You didn't see him running to the line. I mean, we see people, if you guys watching any type of, you watch the 4-letter network, you watching Red Zone or anything like that, we watch all these quarterbacks get in the red zone, they get hyped, oh man, you get mistakes, you get nothing. Everything was just, oh, you want to argue? You want to rush? Dude, it was at the end of the game. I was up there yelling. I was like, I knew you was the Jets. I knew you was the Jets.
They are who we thought they were.
Yeah, you are who I thought you were. You know what I'm saying? End of the game, I was like, dude, y'all was playing hard. I knew it was going to be, listen, and people that might want to disrespect the Jets because of their record. Let's go to this. I have not seen Derrick Henry get manhandled by any defense in this league like I did see him get manhandled by the Jets when they played the Jets. 4th and 1, he fell forward for the first down on them. They did lose that game, but this Jets team, mind you, Saleh, that coach that came from San Fran, he is a great coach. I think they're building a great staff there. I'm pretty sure they're going to double down again this year, defensively, and also get some more offensive weapons in the draft. This is going to be a team to be reckoned with in the future. You got to have your stars and you got to come to play. He was not rattled on the sideline. They went ahead and they made the play that you should make. You should try against Tampa to go out there and go get that first down, go get that score. You should try that. Now, at that point, coaching decision, Blake, did you give it to the running back? Because I know even though you got a mobile quarterback, he's not a mobile quarterback, a Cam Newton that's a big 6'5" guy that's going to fall forward.
Right.
He's not that. I would have gave it to
not that kind of guy.
He's not that type of guy.
I mean, that stop was, oh man, it just took the air right out of that stadium, because I'll never be mad at somebody playing to win rather than playing not to lose. And that's what Robert Saleh did. He said, instead of playing for the field goal and then trying to stop him, he went and tried to end the game by getting a first down. I'll never be mad at that. But at the end of the day, the defense had to make a stop. They forced the Bucs to drive the full length of the field with no timeouts. But you forgot the one variable. It's Tom Brady on the other side with no timeouts and without Antonio Brown and a lot of unusual suspects that are out there playing wide receiver.
Listen, I look at it like this. The advantage is for Tom Brady. See, because when you get a veteran quarterback, here's what you get. A veteran quarterback of the caliber of a Tom Brady and any of these upper echelon quarterbacks, what you get is when they're at practice, they're not the nuanced person that's at practice that, the ones are not in, I'm not paying attention. Best believe Tom Brady knows what Cyril Grayson does. You best believe Tom Brady knows what Brown does. He's going to know what Tyler Johnson does. He's going to know what Perriman does. He's going to know what they do well and what he doesn't like about their routes. He's watching when he's on the sideline, when he's not taking those active reps. He's getting what they call mental reps, because he's going to know what those players do in situations. Now they just have to get on the same page. So that's what we're seeing in Tampa is we got to get those reps together. But as far as the Tom Brady knowing that, listen, I got a speedster over here. And the first pass, when he throw it on the second down, when he did that deep ball on the second down, that was to let you know, listen, I can air this ball out. I didn't see the respect out of the defense. He made him put some respect on his name.
He did, because they know the defense knew, everybody knew you had to get a chunk play, a chunk yardage on that drive in order to put yourself in a scoring position. And then he went down. I think he went down just inside the right hash mark, where he just overthrew the receiver, and then he came back to it, was able to pump fake the safety to come over just enough so Cyril Grayson could get behind him, because with a guy with that kind of speed, you cannot false step because they'll go right by you. And Tom Brady put the ball high and away where the safety couldn't get to it. He was literally just step and a half away, and Grayson made a great catch and pretty much a walk-off touchdown, which that's been two by unusual suspects at wide receiver, one being Cyril Grayson last week against the Jets, the other at home against the Buffalo Bills with Bashard Perriman catching that touchdown pass.
Listen, I think we talk about it. Tom Brady is known to be the type of quarterback that can find any player. That doesn't mean he doesn't like the usual suspects. He likes the way that he knows you're forced to play him. That's very easy for him, but he's still out there playing chess. And at this point, you have to know that he's a chess master. You're not coming out here and you're playing, you're playing with Tom Brady. He's a chess master. So if you know that, hey, I'm going to disguise the defense, I'm going to hide this, I'm going to hide that, best believe and understand that Tom Brady's going to come out. He's going to read what you do. Then he's going to know how you're going to try to play and take certain players away. And of course, you're going to try to take away Gronk. You're going to try to take away Mike Evans. And a lot of times, Tampa fans, we get upset. We say, hey, well, Mike's not getting targeted. Well, Mike's getting bracketed. And because Mike gets bracketed, what happens is he leaves somebody else open on somebody else in man coverage. And that's where Tom tries to go with the ball. Now, in some situations, we're going to get stars to step up and be better for the team in those moments. In a situation like we saw in this game, we saw Gronk come out here and get over 100 yards receiving because Tom was able to get him the ball, and he didn't look like he was lumbering or laboring in this game. He got the ball and he got downfield. He picked up extra yardage. He did exactly what was needed out of this team. And I think, Blake, you tell me, what did you see out of Gronk? Because that was a player, one of your star players, that has to make a big play or big plays in big moments. And I think we saw that out of Gronkowski this week.
Absolutely. As we talked about the pregame Duckies with Eric, that's one of the guys I said that would come out and play well this week. Rob Gronkowski obviously came back from his rib injury that he had earlier this year. He was playing and he was healthy. He was able to do the things Rob was able to do, and he did. He came out and performed, had over 100 yards receiving. And you made a great point talking about why other people succeed is because they do bracket Mike. They shade safeties their way. They try not to leave Mike in one-on-one with corners because it's not the speed that just scares him. It's the range of the catching range that he has when you throw him the ball. If you throw it high and away, it's really hard for a 5'11" corner to match up with pretty much a basketball player running on the outside because Mike will tell you his first love was basketball, wasn't football, and that's how he plays, like he's getting a rebound. But the ability for Mike to constantly almost have eight 1,000-yard receiving while coming to the last 2 years of him basically being the guy that they take away every game and still finding ways to get 1,000 yards is utterly amazing. It shows you the greatness that this guy has to constantly do this year in and out. Mr. Reliable, regardless of the issues and the struggles he's had his entire career, with one being the drops that he had a few years back, and then the nagging injuries. So for all that, missing games, he's still able to come out and perform at that kind of level constantly year in and year out.
Oh, for sure. I mean, shout out to Mike Evans for that. I mean, you hit it on the head. It's one of the major things when you're a big receiver. We're talking about a 6'5" receiver in Mike Evans. When you're a big receiver, just like in the NBA with a Shaquille O'Neal, you're not going to get the benefit of the doubts on a lot of these pushes, a lot of the smaller corners, different techniques. A corner technique is about getting in phase with a receiver. When you're a big receiver, a corner or a DB can get in phase with you and kind of just grab you and hold you, and you can't separate because you're so big, because that's not where your advantage is. Your advantage is having that range. But we talk about Mike Evans, and I think his range is way over, 6'5". He's got those long arms. He's probably got 13 foot plus in any type of range.
Counting jumping.
Yeah, that's not even counting jumping. So we're talking about probably 13 foot plus just in range of just going like this, where a regular person, is just not going to be able to catch the ball in that radius. So he's going to be able to make phenomenal stuff happen. And, talking about something phenomenal that happened this weekend with Mike Evans even getting closer and Tom Brady coming down. Another thing happened right here for us. I mean, you had Eric White on the show first time. I think it was live first time. So, shout out to him for going first time live there. I saw you out there.
You saw him on there, hat backwards, mic up. You saw him out there?
Yeah, I saw him. Did he have those shades on too? Did he have the shades on? Took a page out of my book with some shades, buddy. I see you.
He said the sun was too bright in there. He had to put the shades on.
Them haters was out, baby. Them haters was out. You know how I go. Them haters was out, so that's why he had to have the shades on. You know it. I know it too. Them haters out. He got to have the shades on. That's how it's gonna go. But I mean, this week we saw a phenomenal team. And this week and every week, home games. You're gonna see us over at Ducky. So make sure you guys are aware of that. Come in, stop in, meet the team. Rub elbows, get an autograph. Drink a beer, get some wings. Right at Ducky's. Hit them with the address, tell them where we need to be at.
Oh yeah, right on Kennedy Boulevard, Ducky's. Let's eat 11 Lagoria's restaurant. You come right down there, right off County Boulevard. You'll find Ducky's down there. It's a great experience. We've seen just about a bunch of people there. I saw Mark Barron in there too, a former first-round draft pick out of Tampa Bay. Mark Barron comes down there. So it's a great experience down there at Ducky's. It's a crazy part. It's a huge Bengals crew out there that comes out there every Sunday and supports the Bengals. So it's good not just having, it's great to have the Buccaneers fans and stuff out there because you're in Tampa Bay, but it's also great to see other fans from elsewhere come out, so you get the full experience when you come out to Duckies. Also with Duckies, make sure you guys check out Chef to You. Well, I just interviewed with Jarvis Green, 2-time Super Bowl champion, played with Tom Brady.
That's Jarvis Green. Where he brings the oh man, because you wouldn't stop getting that Uber Eats. You need that food to come hot to your house. Because every time when Uber ring my bell, boy, this food is cold. I think somebody done sipped my drink. But if you get that joint right here from Jarvis, but they come out, they pull up in front of the crib. You know what I'm saying?
They make it right there.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we'll give ourselves a quick break here, and we'll play the commercial, and then we're going to come back and talk about the conversation everybody wants to talk about.
Oh, we're going to get to it. Hey, Buck, where you at, boy?
Yeah, so we'll check this out, commercial by Chef to You, and we'll come back and talk about Antonio Brown.
You having a huge party?
Nope, just me.
Get delicious cuisine from the country's best chefs, delivered right to your door with the click of a button.
There it is, Chef to You with Jarvis Green. I have to get on Jarvis. I only got one complaint about that commercial. Them socks. We got to talk about those socks. And then the other part, why my man tried electric slide and couldn't get no slide there when he get to the door? We said we got to work on the slide game too.
Yeah, work on that slide. Maybe you need a little bit more sauce.
No, yeah, he might need a little bit more saucy to slid just a little bit longer. But make sure to check out Jarvis. The app's out there. Just like Deshaun just said, if you don't want that cold food coming to the door and somebody taking a bite out of your sandwich and a sip out of your drink, they make it right in front of your house. You get it hot and fresh and ready to rock. And speaking of ready to rock,
tell them pull up on you. Pull up on me. Pull up on me.
Speaking of ready to rock, with Deshaun's foolishness, we'll talk about some other foolishness. Antonio Brown. So, Deshaun, I'm gonna let you take the floor first, man. Go ahead.
Listen. First thing we doing, we looking at. You got teammates here. These are grown men. These are professionals. First and foremost, let's not forget about it. They pay millions to come out here and do it. We're spectators. You get Mike Evans. I heard OJ Howard was talking to him. I'm just trying to get him, trying to basically curtail him from these actions that we're seeing. Now, we've all seen these actions. Now, my boy just decided he just gonna come up out the shirt. My son told me what they call that. What did he say? It was graffiti or something? It's one of these some. I don't know what it was. It was some kind of Kodak Black song or something. But he was just getting crazy with it. But then he jogs off. So we really need to, a lot of people just started to throw out the mental health thing and say, hey, mental health is a situation. But, I want to look at it as a couple of different ways, Blake, if you don't mind. We all see the video, but I want to look at it a couple of different ways. I'm not going to stand here and tell you that I'm clinically certified to just diagnose somebody and say, hey, they have mental health issues. Now, the truth is, most people probably have some type of childhood trauma. We probably have some type of mental health issues that we need to get assistance with. And due to this COVID season, with so many people being at home in their houses and things of that nature, a lot of people have explored getting assistance in mental health with just anything, just talking to somebody and getting things taken care of within their own self and their mental stability. We see people step away from the game because of mental health issues. And that's important. And I think that is warranted. But I'm not going to stand here and say his actions are guaranteed mental health. I'm sure we've all looked at somebody and said, this mother right here is crazy as hell. And we may know that person may be crazy, but we cannot actually prove it clinically. We just believe their actions to be crazy. Now, in this situation, Jay Buck, friend of the show right here from Jay Buck with the 529 plan, he was talking about this yesterday on his show, and I was commenting on it because I believe he's in the clinical profession, and that's what he does. So, to something of that nature or whatever. But I'm not going to speak on that because I can't. What I can do is I can say, hey, he had teammates here, friends and colleagues that were trying to stop him from these actions. He chose not to do it. Whatever it was that upset him, took him and sent him clear off the edge. Now, because he's done something like this before, guys, don't automatically think he's guaranteed guilty. But when you have worn the coat of the wolf, people will always think you are the wolf.
Oh, look at that. Look at that quote.
They will always think that. They always going to think that. If you're the villain and you've been the villain in the story, you will get typecasted. You will be the villain in all the stories to come. So you can't now, at this point, he had an opportunity to be professional, Blake, and not take it here. He could have, with these actions right here, he could have had whatever disagreement he had on the sideline. I'm fine with that. Because what I understand from coaching players and coaching my son and coaching my daughter and many other countless kids over the years, and also playing and different things like that, and being also compensated and paid to play, I understand it's a business. And something's going to happen out here. And let's take it from the AB side of it that somebody said. Let's say AB felt like he wasn't 100%. The bonus that we're talking about right now, guys, and I wanted to call in when you got on the show. I thought this when Eric was talking. Let's look at it this way. If the bonus is that AB was going to get that $333,000, that's a lot of us are regular people, right? Our regular jobs. AB's not worried about that $330,000 that he was going to get extra, because what he knows is the long game is before today, before these actions in this Jets game. Would you, as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan and analyst, would you want to sign AD back again next year for what he brings to the team?
There's no way you can do.
And for what he could do, for what his abilities are, would you want to bring him back as a receiver for the team?
For this team, it'd be kind of hard to do to try to. I get the talent wise, because he clearly shown he still has it, but as a trying to control the team and try to hold people accountable, you cannot bring him back to this team and then ask other people to. Well,
no, I don't mean now that he's done this, but I mean prior to him doing this.
Oh yeah, definitely, yes.
Played anymore this season, and you knew you would bring him back. Is what I'm saying. Any team would have brought him on prior to these antics. They would have brought him on. So if he decided that he was not going to go into that game because as a pro that has clearly taken care of his body, all from the Mr. Big Chest, from the gold beard mustache, and all of that stuff, from all of those antics, he clearly takes care of his body. He takes care of his body more than probably 99% of the people that are going to view, because he's a top echelon athlete. Let's just keep that in mind, right? So if he says he's not feeling 100%, Jay Buck was talking about this. This is a skill position player. Just because he jogged off the field doesn't mean he could have stopped or cut or whatever it was, whatever the reason that he didn't want to go back in the game. Apparently that he didn't want to go back in the game. That's what I'm seeing. Now, I don't think he addressed this correctly. But had he felt disrespected, had he felt just blatantly disrespected or something of that nature, there's still a way to conduct yourself as a professional. And I think that's what we normally are used to seeing out of this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team. We have not yet to see the Tampa Bay team. And this year, it's been really testy. It's towards the end of the season. How many times in the last 2 weeks, Blake, have we seen players fighting their own team on the sideline?
We just saw it when he threw a punch on the sideline. What was that?
The Rams. I want to say it was Washington.
No, it was Washington. He threw a punch. He would have knocked him out too. If he'd have caught him with that, he'd have put him straight to sleep on the sideline.
And listen, this was important because it happened in two games. I wouldn't say it happened this Sunday and also happened in Washington the prior week. But there was one thing. These are grown men out here. These are grown men. And there's a point as a grown man that somebody will do something that just cuts everything for you, where you revert back to whatever it is that you know. And this is one thing that Jay Buck was saying when he spoke on the show, and I agreed to him. It was that he was alluding to the fact that maybe he got his hand pointed in his face or something. And I've had people say something like, hey, he shouldn't act like that. And I agree, he should not. He should know how to, maintain himself, maintain his composure. But if that's not who this guy is when we brought him in, dude, we're talking about a grown man that had to go live in another grown man's house with his wife and kids. Right? Was in the kids was in the bunk bed.
And speaking of it, you bringing up some good points here. We're talking about truth, the hard truth, and nothing but the truth. I can't help but to end that quote with bringing on Ruth the Truth to add to this conversation, because Lord knows I know Ruth. She's gonna have a lot of input to put into this conversation.
Let's get
and
it.
You've been and you're being the diplomatic one. See, I'm about to go hard here when we have this conversation. Let me just bring Ruth on before we even get in here. Ruth, what's
up? I saw you guys talking. I needed to join this conversation.
I knew you would, because it's kind of hard to not kind of want to chime in on this conversation right here.
And when you guys were talking about that Washington sideline, that was going on during that Dallas Cowboys game when they were putting the work on them, and it was actually Jonathan Allen, the defensive tackle, that threw that punch and almost hit Payne dead in the chin on the sideline, and that caused some ruckus. I happened to be recording a play before that while I was watching that game when I caught that clip of them fighting on the sidelines, and I had to post that because I'm like, do you see what the Dallas Cowboys are doing to the Washington football team right now, where they're fighting amongst each other because they cannot stop the run? It was sad to see, but I mean, obviously, Antonio Brown, Mr. AB, had to one up them, I guess, by doing that explosion of throwing a temper tantrum or not getting his way or whatever happened. Mental episode, whatever you want to call it, what happened, transpired on that road game was definitely took the cake.
Yeah, and Deshaun made up had some great things to say, and he's the diplomatic one, so I'm gonna go a little bit harsher on this. And I'm gonna speak strictly from a player before I speak into that. Now, like you said, I'm not a doctor. I can't say if he has mental health issues or not. I'm just going to say I know from looking at people in the past, they have issues like that. And part of that is you act out irrationally, emotionally. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying from things I've noticed. But as a player, I would never walk out on my teammates. I would never do that at any point of the game, regardless of what arguments I have with coaching staff, GMs, or anything like that. Secondly, it is a business. That's job abandonment. That's walking out on your job. That's like job abandonment. That's what that is. Regardless of how anybody feels about that, that's walking out on your job and doing it in the middle of the game was literally being played doing that. And him being a superstar, there's other players on that team that are in that same situation. AB was trying to get you in. I mean, yeah, BA was trying to get you in the game, but you were hurt. But he's got people sitting out like OJ Howard, Ronald Jones. You think those guys don't feel bad for getting put out? Especially Ronald Jones fumbled. He didn't see the field for like 5 weeks, but did he take his helmet off and do all that? And he's nowhere near the superstar or possible Hall of Famer Antonio Brown is. And they found a way to act rationally, even in a real irrational situation that he put himself in by his play. So I just can't support walking out on a team, especially in front of a game, especially when your team needs you, being down, needing momentum, and you just walk out doing that, regardless of the situation or what was said on the sideline. You still got to be a professional. If you want to go elsewhere and talk about it later in the interview, that's your business if you want to do that. But in that moment, you can't do that.
I don't really think it was him just walking out on the Buccaneers. I think that was him walking out on his career. Throwing up the peace sign, waving to the fans, taking off his jersey the way he did. I really think that was Antonio Brown saying goodbye to the NFL. Thanks for the great years that you've shown us. I mean, did I expect you to be on the Buccaneers roster after what imploded with the 3 other teams that you were with before you showed up to Tampa? No. Do I think that BA should have gave him another chance after the debacle over the vaccine card? Absolutely not. Do I think that BA is having a little bit of regret of putting so much faith into somebody that has shown time and time again that they are more for themselves and not for their team? It's obvious. We've seen the track record. It's been going on for years. He didn't want to show up to game 17 for the Steelers when he was still in Pittsburgh. That was him giving up on his team. We saw the way that he put out the Raiders, what he did to John Gruden in the locker room. That is unacceptable. That's putting out on your team. So we've just seen it time and time again, and I wasn't expecting him. I was not for the AB signing. When that happened last season, I was on the show with Martin Gramatica on the Z Living talk show, and we spoke about it. When it was just kind of like a rumor whether or not Antonio Brown was going to get an opportunity to be in a Bucs uniform, I said absolutely not. I'm sorry. And after BA was saying I'm not going to take any chances on him, I've already seen firsthand what he did in Pittsburgh. It's not going to happen, and that's kind of where I stood on the subject. I said he's done in the NFL. He's had too many chances. It's time for the NFL to walk away. Sexual assault allegations, like what else needs to happen for this person to just say that his time is up?
Well, I'll tell you this, Ruth. I remember the show when you actually on that. I was actually watching that show. I think I actually commented on that show as well.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
But I will say this, Blake has been here, and Blake knows. I've said this before. BA is the home for wayward boys, Blake, and I've said it.
Yep, you said that a long time ago.
Home for wayward boys, and I guarantee you, what it has been here in Tampa has been this. And I'll tell you, there's a couple of things. See, when you bring Antonio Brown back after this whole COVID fiasco, you have to look at it and say, hey, at this point right now, does he help me and make my team better, able to win? And that the answer was yes. So we bring him back after that. The league doesn't bring any penalty. And guess what we want to do? We're here to win. We're trying to repeat, right? So we need him, and he's showing. I mean, when he's on the field, he's a weapon, and he causes coverage issues, things of that nature. However, this right now, that the shirt taken off, the antics on the sideline, not being professional, not being a pro about it. Yes, I do think that he just do his peace sign up and say, hey, goodbye to the NFL, because nobody else would touch him. Because at this point, what's happened is he's basically showed his, like Shannon Sharp would say, he showed his whole entire ass at this point. He's pulled his pants down. We've seen it all. And there's nothing else. I mean, because at this point, we've seen the people who you've moved into this man's house, you stayed with him all year and his family as a stepchild. Now you won a championship, you're grown, and you should be able to be on your own. You're with the same team, your same environment. You should be cool and copacetic. And then for whatever the entanglement is that happened, you choose to blow up on the sideline and leave the field. You never do that in no situation. Now, I'm with you, Blake. If he was mad, upset, player, get to the podium, they would interview him, and the press would have a field day with him. He could get press and promotion anywhere in Tampa. No issues. He did not have to do that. He could have laid into BA after the game. But right then on the sideline and to blow up and walk across the field and stuff like that. Now, many people say, okay, why didn't anything happen? It's because, the NFL, the referees, if you're moving outside the area of play and there's nothing, you're not causing anything, you're actually going to a locker room, they're not going to throw a flag on that. If he actually ran through where we were all lining up and about to play, that would have been a flag on our sideline. But because he ran out at the end, there was no flag or whatever. But at this point, Ruth, I think you're correct. We've seen the last of him in the NFL. No, we're not going to fully release him. So when you heard BA say, oh, he's no longer a Buck. Yeah, he's no longer a Buck, but we're not stupid either. We're not going to give any other team an opportunity to pick him up and let him come shred us in the playoffs. No. But after this, we know that teams are going to do it. Look, I've already heard teams be people say, hey, Tampa's going to pick up Cordell Patterson, because he's another weapon, and he's from Atlanta, he's right here. We could already pick him up. Okay, those are just we're not going to make AB able to go somewhere else. But right now, there's no team that will want to touch him after what he's done here. And I really think, Ruth, you spoke the truth to say he's done in the NFL. When he chucked those deuces up, those are the last deuces that we're going to see out of him. I'm believing it.
And then we just got a mixtape that was dropped from him the same exact day. So I'm guessing he's using the publicity I think it's a publicity stunt, because honestly, he knows that the whole world is watching him right now. So let me try to get my music out there so I could be famous for something else. And then showing up to the Brooklyn Nets game on the sideline like that, fully clothed, thank God. I don't know. It's just, Antonio Brown, I don't get the antics. I mean, I know I'm not here to understand what's going on in your head, but it's just I pray for you, buddy, and I hope for you to get well and good luck in all your future endeavors. But I'm at this point, I really hope I do not see you on an NFL field anymore. I don't care how talented you are. We've seen your talents. If your ankle's really that bothering you that bad, it's a different. I think maybe. There's certain situations that when people are in, they have an episode or they retaliate in a negative way. Maybe the relationship that he has with the NFL is just toxic to him. Maybe he just needs to find another strand of revenue. So I'm hoping that this rapping career really takes off for him because I really think it's over with the cleats.
Christmas rapping. I mean, I don't know about actual rapping, but Christmas rapping.
Because I don't think his rapping career is going to take off right now. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, I saw the meme when somebody was saying that I guarantee you I'm going to see him fighting Jake Paul within a year.
Well, speaking of that, he was already with the teammate Le'Veon Bell. He was getting ready to do that. Ironically, that you brought that up. So Le'Veon Bell was going to train to do.
Le'Veon made the bad decision just like him. They come from that camp of bad decisions together, and that's why they're friends. And Le'Veon said, "I will not talk bad about him." But I mean, they're coming from the camp of bad decisions.
They have too much dirt on one another.
Listen, when they say birds of a feather, when they say birds of a feather, I mean, you watching two people that have done their career absolute misjustice, and we're watching them thinking, "What the hell's going on?" But I mean, listen. If your friend and confidant is AB and you're Le'Veon Bell and you're like, so we just got to scratch our heads and wonder, okay, I know who you went to talk to before when this happened, because this is your friend. Like, you go to your friends and you ask them, hey, do you think this is a good decision? Do you think I should date this guy? Do you think I should date this girl? And they give you sound, good, advice. And I mean, what advice would AB get from Le'Veon Bell?
Nothing good, I don't think.
Exactly. So, this is where we're at. I mean, it's just right now, it's the corner's turn for him. I'm very happy that Tom Brady was able to come out. Ruth, tell me what you thought about that last winning drive out of Tom after this whole fiasco. You losing him, but a big day for Gronk. And then watch what Tom did in this game overall. I mean, more records are broken. What did you think about Tom Brady?
Shout out to Cyril Grayson and
shout out to
Grayson for getting open in the end zone and making that happen. I think that was a must-need touchdown, not only for them to win the game, but for them to show AB that with or without you, we got this. As long as Tom Brady is throwing the ball, as long as these young Bucks are willing to do the work, and if they believe in themselves, because you already know if Brady is coming up to you and giving you confidence and telling you that you got this, I don't care what type of physical ability that you have, you're mentally going to get the job done. So I really think that we're in good shape right now. Yes, is the loss of Antonio Brown really bad for the offense? Absolutely, especially with the timing of losing Leonard Fournette as well as Chris Godwin. But I think us winning the Jets game was just kind of Tom Brady just showing it, like, I'm going to keep this train moving with or without AB.
Listen, I think Blake, Ruth said it best. If you get Tom Brady walking up to you, that is like Yoda for all my Star Wars bucks. That's like Yoda coming to you.
You compared Tom Brady to Yoda.
Look, Tom Brady is Yoda. He is coming to you. Tom Yoda. It's like he's coming to you and saying the force is good in this one. Like, and then you just go out and you perform. Like where do we look? Think of Cyril Grayson. Tom was the one, even last year, that was throwing Cyril towards the end of the season, trying to get him better. And Tom was the one who was believing in Cyril Grayson last year at the end of the season. Only to have it come back now at this season, and he's able to win games with the same person this dude hadn't played football since high school. He's a high school football player. He went to college at LSU to run track. He's not played any football in college. He's just fast. He couldn't catch COVID last year.
Oh my God.
He catch COVID last year. God. So come on, let's be realistic. But you get Tom Brady, like Bruce just said, you get Tom Brady walking over to you in the huddle. If Tom Brady walked over to me in the huddle right now, I probably could run a great route, go out there and catch a touchdown because
you're gonna get the job done.
You're gonna get it done. You're gonna get it done. He's telling you.
Show Roof what Tom Brady really told Cyril Grayson when he did the side to him.
You saw that, Roof. Watch the tape. You see him going there, but what Tom really did was Tom was like, "Hey, you know what? Go out and get you some of these.
You see this money?
I got these for you.
Benjamin.
Go get it. Go get it. Listen, I'm gonna get this. We won't be able to spend." And that's what it is. He's listen.
He said, "Do you want this crypto money or what?"
Listen, Tom said, "Listen, if you're really trying to go downtown Tampa tonight, let me get you right." You know what I'm saying? If you really want to be downtown Tampa tonight, let me get you right. And that's what Tom
funny
did.
you said that. Mike Edwards had a club party somewhere in downtown Tampa. I don't know if it was Club Eve or something like that, or Club Eden, something like that. I saw the.
He was in the Garden of Eden for real. He was in the Garden of Eden for real. You know it. Come on, Roof. Tell him. Come on, Roof. Let it out. You know. Cyril Grayson was definitely in the Garden of Eden. I don't know if it's hopefully it's any significant others are not watching, but listen, I'm sure he was due for a little celebration, and I'm sure that the team made sure that he definitely got a pretty nice celebration behind the work that he put in. But Tom Brady really came out, made sure it happened. I mean, obviously the GOAT that he is. And I mean, we're just sitting here. We're able to sit down right now and think about it and just think, hey, let me pontificate on what can happen in the playoffs with these new players that Tom is finding out, these new toys, because he knows how to play with the old toys. He can always go back to a Gronkowski and get that working, and I'm liking that I'm seeing a little bit. Even I didn't see a lot out of Le'Veon Bell, I'm be honest with you, but what did you see, Roof and Blake? What did you guys see out of Le'Veon to give you any type of confidence? I have more confidence in Keyshawn Vaughn, but I don't know if I've seen enough out of Le'Veon just yet to have any confidence in him. What do you think?
Does anybody know if Ronald Jones has been ruled out for this week's game?
I haven't seen anything yet, but he did not play the rest of the game because he was hurt. Not sure what he hurt, but he was hurt.
Yeah, I got to look up the update on that because I do not want to put so much pressure on Keyshawn Vaughn. Yes, he's a young talent that he's growing into his own, but I still think he needs a little bit more development when it comes to that pass catching ability as well. What I saw from Bell was a small glimpse of what we saw from him while he was a Pittsburgh Steelers. So that gives me hope that once he gets more familiarized with this offense, that he's going to be more of a threat. But it's too soon to tell, I think. But I mean, playoffs is right here, so he's got to get it together.
I have to agree with Ruth. You got a little bit of a taste of what it is. So I got a good thing and a bad thing to say about him, and you guys probably noticed it. His pass catching ability, Ruth to come back, probably just dropped out for a minute. His pass catching ability was great. He didn't look like he missed a beat as far as catching passes goes. Hold on, Bruce back. Hold on, let me bring her back in.
My bad.
His pass it's all good. His pass catching ability is still good. He caught passes like he was fluent and everything was fine. Now, he's got to get his legs back under him because I don't know if you guys saw. I think it was up near the left sideline. He saw the defender coming in pursuit, and he tried to hop step around. I was like, "Oh, child, you don't got that anymore. You can't hop step around anybody because
he eluded
like
one.
Free left foot."
Yeah, he eluded one. He made one miss.
I saw a couple of those spin moves that I like to see. That looked like the old Le'Veon as well.
Yes, I saw that spin move. The spin move was there. The spin move was there, but he doesn't. You know what? This offense, from a running back perspective, doesn't seem like it's so difficult for you to be able to pick up. I mean, most of it is going to be blocking.
Not with that offensive line. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, and his helps. I think the chips are really what's going to be it. He's going to have to do a lot more chipping, and that's where Leonard Fournette kind of gives you everything. Ronald Jones has always been historically a block misser. So that's been a thing for him. But I think Keyshawn Vaughn Roof is a step away, and I think his issue may be just that he needs more game time reps. If you look, you know how you see that player spring maybe a 7-8 yard run, but they were a shoestring tackle away from breaking it. That seems to be always Keyshawn Vaughn for me. When you watch his highlights, is that not where you see him? Some of the passes, even when he drops those passes, Bruce, they're also fingertips as well. So I think it's that he doesn't get the reps with the ones, and people don't put a lot of value with that. But it's huge value when you actually get Tom to be, the wow is gone. He's been with Tom Brady all season, but he doesn't actually catch passes from Tom Brady. He probably catches his pass from Blaine Gabbert and Trask. So
right, that's true. That's a
you got to
great
know
point.
how it's going to come from Tom until it's actually in the game. And he usually misses the first one, and he's able to adjust to the second pass. Think about it. The first one, he always drops it every time. Second pass, he makes the catch. Maybe he gets no yards, but you ain't going to be dropping too many passes on Tom Brady because you know what he's going to do.
He ain't be in much longer.
Yeah,
you won't be in much longer if you're dropping passes from Tom Brady. And I'll tell you, somebody who don't drop passes is Miss Ruth right here with Ruth the Truth. Why don't you let everybody know where they can find your content at, what you got going on tonight, because you cover all sports of all different flavors.
Yes, absolutely. If you guys want to give me a follow on Twitter, it's at Ruth the Truth with 3 H's at the end. Please follow the NSPN Tampa Bay TV page as well on Facebook, and stay tuned because we have a lot more coming for you. Even though, the season is coming to the end, there's a lot of excitement around the postseason, and the Buccaneers are going to be in for a while. So we have a lot of content coming your way.
Most definitely. Look forward to seeing plenty of stuff from Ruth from all over. Get her thing going here, and make sure you follow her and see what she's got going on because she's always around the world.
Appreciate the conversation, fellas. Have a good day.
Awesome, dude.
There you have it. Deshaun, what's your final thoughts, buddy?
Hey, man, listen, once again, great win. You got to have some adversity. If nothing's showed you anything out of life over these past 2 years, you saw that anything and any time there could be some adversity, and you have to be prepared for it. Last year, this was definitely a different team, but this year you're seeing a team deal with so much adversity. I mean, you bring back all 22 starters. That automatically has people thinking, oh, this team's going back. But now you get injuries, because injuries are a part of the game. And we spoke about this when we talked about bringing back those starters and what they were going to cost. We spoke about the depth. And, okay, are we getting better depth? And I think, Blake, we were in the probably about early August or late July, sometime in July, we were talking about the depth on the show. And I was like, listen, I don't think we brought all the starters back, but we don't have no money to pay anybody else. So everybody behind those starters are kind of unproven commodities, And I mean, at this point right now, we're that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the unprovenness of these players, and some of these players have grown up in front of us. I mean, Cockrell, shout outs to him, because we saw him getting dusted off earlier in the season, and now he's formidable. He's not being attacked anymore. But right now, I mean, I hate to say it, but I gotta say it. Much like Rick James has fire and desire.
Oh, Lord.
In Tampa, we got this despair and disaster. Man, we got despair and disaster, man. I'm telling you. I mean, if it's not, just oh, come on, man. Every time I look up, and you listen, Sean Payton showed it when they want to attack our defense. If it's Desir in, they're gonna attack. They're gonna, that's what it's Desir and disaster. I mean, that's D&D. That's where they're gonna attack. They very rarely attack anyone else directly, but if they're gonna go one-on-one, they're gonna try and beat you up top. They're gonna test physicality. They're gonna attack those defensive backs, because realistically, those defensive backs for us are probably 6-7 string defensive backs that are out starting in the NFL. And I mean, at any point in time, we've all watched enough football to know corner goes down, the very next play, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, whoever it is, they're going after that corner that just stepped in off the sideline.
Oh yeah, they go right at him.
They go right at them. They don't even wait.
They don't even hide it.
They don't hide it. They go immediately. They smell blood and they go get it. So right now, you got to think, you got a 6th, 7th corner, maybe even an 8th corner in the game actually playing in real time for you. Of course they're going to be attacked. So, I make a little joke about it on despair and disaster, but, no issues on them. I mean, obviously they're going to get their work. And just like Russ Cockrell, they made some good plays and they've done some things. But, at this point right now, I know who's going to be attacked. And right now, we just need that rush, that defensive rush to kind of get there a little bit more. JPP's been injured. A lot of injuries. You get Shaq Barrett injured. He should be back for the playoffs. But JPP's not been the same over these last 8 games.
Definitely a fallback here.
not effective. And I know he has a rotator cuff. Dude, he shouldn't even be out there, to be honest with you. But we've got some. He's a freak of nature. Like, dude, rotator cuffs is like dudes are going to get surgery. They're not even going to be
rotator cuff, neck, hand. What else?
It's like, dude, he's Frankenstein. You know, you just I don't know.
Robotic man.
Dude, I know. Look, there's nothing but duct tape on his body. He's put together. But listen, man,
literally,
you know. So, hey, man, I'm just telling you right now, I'm very happy to see what we're going to do against, once again, division rivals and foes, Carolina Panthers. Will it be Cam Newton's last game in a Panther uniform or last game overall? I'm not sure where, what positions are available for him from a quarterback perspective in the league. A lot of movement that we're going to be talking about coming up as we get towards the end of the season. So much talks about Russell Wilson moving out of Seattle. A lot of talks about now that Deshaun Watson will be moving on from the Texans once this year he's freed up to move around. And what are the landing spots? We know Cam probably will not be back in Carolina with them already having Donald on the contract for $16 million. So Cam's not back there to be a quarterback this year. So what will happen with him? What will we get out of him? What will his defense do? Because Cam actually played pretty well against us and ran the ball, aside from Whitehead coming out there being shut down as he was. So, I mean, big things coming this week. I'm going to be here to talk about it with you guys. And, obviously we can catch everyone. I don't know if E will be back on at be back on at Duckies this week, but I'll jump on with you guys as well. And just ready to get us into the playoffs. And I mean, this is a busy week. We got Saturday and Sunday, so I don't know what the schedule looks like for you, Blake, but we'll get together offline and kind of talk about it, see what goes on. But big things this week, guys. Love football right at the end of the season. Week 17, Tampa Bay Buccaneers right here. Sports Talk 49. You got yourself Coach T coming at you soon. So be prepared for it. Hey, Happy New Year for you guys. And hey, make the rest of the life the best of your life. Peace.
I'm stealing on Eric Thomas's quotes.
Yeah, and with it. It ain't 4:30.
I already know who that is. And I'll send my ending quote. We'll end this as we always do. You're the master of everything. What you do with your life, what you do with it is entirely up to you. Thank you, guys. God bless. And as always, fire those cannons.
You having a huge party?
Nope, just me.
Get delicious cuisine from the country's best chefs, delivered right to your door with the click of a button.
Now it's the gold standard. It's Tom Brady. It's the defending Super Bowl champions.
Hey, look around, man. It don't matter what field we on, what's the conditions, who the playing. This might be the best Buccaneers team we can beat.
Brady floats one for the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans hauls it in. Gronkowski, he's got a first down. Cracking. A jet with him. This time, nothing. And Winfield showing his muscles from the safety spot.
Goes off ball. This time it's Cameron. Great with a touchdown grab. Right between the 8 and the 4.
And there's a sack. The first sack of the game for Tampa Bay. Anthony Nelson.
And just there's no movement at all.
First down box. We stop him on 4th and 2. Brady looking, cocks the arm, throws toward the end zone, receiver open, hot ball,